Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, Precious Metal Summit here in Zurich. And now with me also for the first time is Azure Minerals, and Tony Rovira, who is the Managing Director, wants to give us an insight into his company. Welcome and good morning.
Thank you very much. Pleasure to be here.
Yeah, thanks for taking the time. Azure Minerals, what's the company about? What are you doing?
We're an Australian company and we're working solely in Mexico. Been there since 2006, so for the last 13 years we've been busy exploring and developing a variety of precious and base metal projects, and things are looking very positive at the moment.
Fantastic. Mexico, I mean, it's famous for silver, of course. And I saw in your presentation you have like two, I would say, key projects. One is silver gold and the other silver, lead and zinc, I think,
that's
right?
correct, yes.
So let's start with the silver gold project. What's going on there?
Well, that's called Alacran, and it's a project that we acquired from a Canadian company, Tech Resources, in 2015. And we've been busy exploring it since then. We've had great success in terms of discovering two deposits, a silver-only deposit and a silver and gold deposit. And as you mentioned, silver is very common in Mexico, and it's great to make another discovery like that.
What grades have you discovered so far?
Well, the silver deposit's got a grade of nearly 10 ounces to the tonne, and there's 15 million ounces sitting on surface. It actually forms the top of the hill, and from a mining perspective, it's not an underground mining operation. It won't be an open pit. It's really just taking the top off the hill and processing that material, and the grades there are quite phenomenal.
And you're already processing there on a small scale?
No, not on that project.
One.
No, that's on the other project.
Okay, then let's dive to the other project.
And well, Oposura is another project that we acquired about 2 years ago, and it's a mixture of zinc, lead and silver, and most of the value is in the zinc, and it's a very, very high grade, massive sulfide body that outcrops at surface. It comes to surface, and we've commenced over the last 2 months a small scale mining and processing operation. Now we've mined for 2 months, we mined 6,000 tonnes of very high-grade zinc and lead mineralisation. And we've just started a trial processing of that material. If all that works well and we produce the concentrates, the zinc concentrate and the lead concentrate, then we'll be selling those concentrates on the open market. And if all that works out well, then we will look to continue that throughout 2020.
Fantastic. So that means you start to get cash flow from next year onwards, right?
That is correct, yes. So we've had obviously some costs incurred in terms of the mining. And once the processing is finished and we've developed and produced that concentrate, yes, there'll be cash flow coming back in. And if that works well financially for us, then we'll look to continue through next year.
Fantastic. Would the cash flow be able then to cover, let's say, the cost for the company, meaning that you make, let's say, a slight cash flow positive, yeah? That you say, okay, you know what, we can pay some exploration with that, G&A, etc., etc.
That's absolutely right. If all goes according to plan, and that's what we're hoping for, and we produce not only the quantity, the tonnage of concentrates that we're looking at, but also the quality, the grade, and not having any contaminants in there, then yes, we will make sufficient money for both to cover the mining and processing costs, to make a small profit, to cover the G&A for the company, and maybe assist with some further exploration costs.
Fantastic. So I assume this would be like the start of, let's say, the first production phase, yeah? What's the plan then for the future, let's say, the next 2-3 years for that? Do you want to enlarge that significantly? Do you want to establish a large mining production project there?
Yeah, absolutely. The intention of the company is to become a serious mining company. Although this project now at Oposura is small scale, it can lead and has the potential to lead into a much larger mining and processing operation. That would require completion of a full feasibility study, and then obviously the financing to raise the funds necessary to build the mine. But this small-scale mining, if it works properly, will demonstrate the technical robustness of the project, and then we'll have we've proved the concept of the mining, the processing and the production of the concentrates, and that will make things like the financing of the large-scale project much easier.
Okay. Of course, this is just pure speculation now, and for the regulators, forward-looking statement, but I want to ask that. On what order of capex we are talking? I mean, you must have an idea. We know there's nothing definitive. You have to do a feasibility study. But do we talk about, let's say, 100 million or 200 or 500 million, which have to be probably then invested for a real proper mine?
Well, we have actually completed a preliminary economic assessment or a scoping study, which has been released to the Australian Stock Exchange. So it's a fully public document. And within that, it was we were looking at a capex to build the mine there of about $50 million.
Oh, that's not that much.
It's not that much,
okay,
no.
Wow.
So because it's very high grade and it's at surface, the capital required to develop a mine is quite low, and also the capital to build the plant is quite low because it's such high grade material. You don't need to treat as many tonnes. So yeah, a $50 million capex on this project is very doable by a company of our size.
Fantastic. Do you have already, let's say, a good idea about the AISC?
We do, and then those numbers, or numbers like the IRR and the NPVs, etc., they're all public. They're all part of the announcement that we put out about 12 months ago. I think it was October 2018. We released that information. So all of that is public, and there's an NPV there of approximately 85 million US dollars over a 5 to 6 year mine life. And also there's potential to make the project much bigger with further exploration. So potentially some of the funds that we achieve from the small scale mining will be allocated to do more drilling to make the project bigger.
Fantastic. So what's the target then for 2020? What do you want to achieve with the company?
Well, it's a twofold target. One of them is working on the Alacran Silver and Gold Project, where we want to make the existing resources bigger. We've got 32 million ounces of silver there and some gold as well. And with further drilling, which we look to get underway as soon as possible in the next month or two, we'll look to make those resources bigger. We've got lots of targets there, precious metals targets on the Alacran to test as well. And we'll also continue with the development studies that we have had ongoing in the past. So that's Alacran. So that's one leg of what we're doing. The other one is at Oposura, continue with the small scale mining and processing, develop some cash flow into the company, and then look towards building a bigger mine in the future.
Fantastic. Who are the major shareholders of the company? And important, what do you have as a management?
The two biggest shareholders are Teck Resources, because we bought the Alacran project, bought their interests.
So it's like a share swap you did?
Yes. So they own about 17% of the company, and to have one of the world's major mining companies as your biggest shareholder is a real bonus. And our second biggest shareholder is a German fund located in Heidelberg. They own 15%. Their name's Deutsche Balaton, and they've been over the last 2 years have been very supportive of our company as well. In terms of management side of things, we're probably looking around about 5% of the company is held by the management and friends.
Super, fantastic. So what's cash in the bank? Are you, let's say, financed through 2020?
We're certainly financed through the middle of 2020. We've got about 4 million Australian dollars in the bank, which is enough for us to continue with both exploration at Alacran, plus continue with obviously the administration of the company. And then if the small scale mining and processing works and we develop that cash flow, then that's an added bonus for the company as well.
Fantastic. Well, then I would say all the good luck for 2020, all the best, and look forward for positive update then.
Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure to tell you the story.
Great, fantastic. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, there was Tony Rovira, the Managing Director of Azure Minerals, and yeah, you heard it, 4 million in the bank. The company has already a small-scale mining going on, want to build it further, of course, in 2020, so positive cash flow hopefully flips into 2020 here, and a lot of work ahead of them. And yeah, we look forward here to see then hopefully in the next years a large mining project, because silver, lead, those are the metals, and zinc which needs the world. So check it out. Thanks for watching us, and bye bye from Zurich.